Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Seema and you're watching Seema's Academy. In the previous class, we learned about the organization structure. I told you the organization structure was classified into functional structure and divisional structure. As we have completed with that concept, today we are learning formal and informal organization. So in this video, I'll be teaching you formal organization. So what do we mean by a formal organization? See, basically formal organization refers to an organization structure which is designed by the management, the top management itself. And why is it designed? It is designed for the purpose of accomplishing a particular task. So formal organization basically comprises of the levels of hierarchy which is designed deliberately by the management itself so that whatever is the activity to be carried out in an organization or whatever the task is to be completed in the organization, those tasks are being performed. Now we shall see the features of formal organization. So this can be asked for 4 marks. Features of formal organization. Firstly, there is clarity in relationships. Clarity in relationships in the sense when the top management is framing a formal structure, it also means that they are telling you who is accountable to who is responsible to do what work, what sort of authority the person has and what is his responsibility. Okay, it also defines the role and responsibility of every individual in the organization. If you are a manager in the organization, it is the formal organization that tells you what is your role and responsibility as a manager. If you are a normal worker in an organization, it is the formal organization which gives you clarity in your work. What is your work to be done, whom you have to report to, whom you can command to. Okay, so basically it means to say that they give you a clear idea of what your work is and they give you a clarity in relationship. Secondly, it is a means to achieve the objectives specified in plans. So whatever is the plan framed by the top management, and there are certain objectives for every organization. So this formal organization will help you to achieve those objectives which is specified or stated in the plans which is framed by the management. Next feature, efforts of various departments are coordinated. So we have learned that there are various departments that function in an organization. It may be the production department, the sales department, the finance department, the human resource department, the marketing departments, and many other departments. Public relations is also a department. So a formal structure or a formal organization, this always helps in keeping these departments coordinated so that they communicate with each other. Lastly, deliberately designed by the top management. I told you that the formal organization is deliberately designed by the top management so that the task or the work to be carried out in the organization is accomplished properly. Whatever is the work to be done in the organization, that is done in a proper manner. So these are the features of formal organization. Now, what are the advantages? Firstly, it is easier to fix responsibility because the formal organization clearly specifies the relationships also, that provides you a clarity in relationship. Definitely, it becomes easier to fix the responsibility. Who is responsible for what sort of work? It becomes easier to fix the responsibility. Second one, no ambiguity in roles. Ambiguity in the sense confusions. Okay, ambiguity means confusions. So a formal organization removes all the ambiguity or any sort of confusion in your roles. A manager is very well aware of what is his role. A supervisor is aware of his role in the organization. A worker is aware of his role in the organization through the formal organization. So the formal organization always clearly lays down the roles and responsibility of every individual in the organization so that there is no ambiguity in the roles. Next advantage comes unity of command is maintained. Now what is unity of command? Unity of command we have learnt in your second chapter, principles of management. So unity of command is one of the principle which comes under Henry Fayol's 14 principles of management. So what does it mean? It means that every individual should receive orders from one superior or one boss. So one superior, one subordinate. That is the basic mantra or basic principle of unity of command. So here in the formal organization, it always focuses on unity of command. That means a person will receive orders and commands from one boss or one superior only, so that there is no confusions. Lastly, it provides stability to the organization. So when there is a proper formal organization, we say that the organization is more stable to meet up the changes that is going to happen in the organization. Now let us have a look into the disadvantages of formal organization. The first disadvantage is it leads to procedural delays. Now let me tell you what formal organization basically says. It says that all the communication should basically follow from a top management to the lower management, from the higher level to the lower level. It follows the principle of scalar chain. And what is scalar chain? Scalar chain means that the top management, and there is a middle level management, and then there is a lower level management. So scalar chain principle says that whatever is the communication, that should always flow from the higher level to the lower level. So top management will communicate to the middle level management, middle level then will communicate it to the lower management. There are no chances that lower level management can directly communicate with the top management. This is a problem that a formal organization faces. If a laborer or if a worker has to communicate anything to the top management, it has to go through this chain only. It has to communicate it. It has to be communicated to the middle level management, and then it has to go to the top management. But formal organization does not provide for direct communication. That is why there can be procedural delays. Secondly, no recognition of creative talent. Here, under formal organization, everybody is supposed to carry out those work which is stated by the administration, which is told by the top management. So, the managers or the workers have very little chance of using their creative ability, their creative skills and talents. So, they are merely carrying out the work whatever is told by the administration or the management. Thirdly, it is difficult to understand all human relationship. Although formal organization provides a clear idea, clarity about the relationships in the organization, but again, it becomes very difficult to understand all the human relationship that is present in the organization. So these are the disadvantages of formal organization. In the next video, we'll be learning about the informal organization. Thank you for watching.